Straight ahead on CCX News, an astronomical affair blocked by clouds, but that didn't stop students at a Plymouth school from turning the solar eclipse experience into an experiment for NASA. Plus, a rally for teachers in Brooklyn Park, how they're getting ready for a new year, and what could turn downtown Osseo into a car builder's paradise. CCX News starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. They call it the eclipse of the century, and that's because it's been nearly 40 years since a total solar eclipse has occurred in the United States.
And while Minnesota only had a partial eclipse, students at Providence Academy used the rare occurrence to take part in 2 national experiments, including one for NASA. Here's reporter Sonia Goins.
Because it's such a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
The eclipse is happening.
School is out, but these Providence Academy students are setting up for 2 celestial science experiments.
We're one of about 20 schools in the nation that are taking part of this.
Physics teacher Mike Pluzinski is leading the Cosmic Ray project.
How's that look?
This is not a scene from a sci-fi flick.
Yeah.
Students actually built a cosmic ray detector to keep tabs on the atom fragments during the eclipse.
And since the moon is going to happen to eclipse the sun during the middle of the day, we want to see, is there going to be a change or not of how often we're getting hit by cosmic ray muons.
It took students 2 years to build the cosmic ray detector.
It's worth every minute of it to get this amazing data.
The detector was mounted on a telescope, and the device was pointed at the sun during the eclipse.
There hasn't been this technology when the last solar eclipse happened, so it's definitely new.
So many things are impacted by the eclipse, including wind and temperature. So will the temperature change during the solar eclipse? That's what these students are trying to find out. On Saturday, they started collecting data, and right now they're using 6 thermometers to track the temperature during the eclipse. When they're done, they'll send that information to NASA.
We always use Celsius.
Every 10 minutes, students record the temperature, and once they're done, they upload their data directly to NASA.
What we're looking for is a change in temperature. We want to see is there going to be a dip when the moon's shadow covers the sun.
And although the day turned cloudy, it didn't stop the experiment, nor folks who just wanted to stargaze.
It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so I think to be part of it is really cool, especially if we discover something that could change the world.
In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
The NASA experiment is part of the Citizen Scientist Opportunity Initiative, and people all over the world collected data for the project.
In other news, a Crystal man has pleaded guilty to stealing more than $1 million from his employer. According to prosecutors, 50-year-old John Robinson managed the bank accounts of a metal stamping company in Blaine named North Central. Robinson then set up a bank account without the company's knowledge and deposited payments from customers. The stolen money, totaling $1.1 million, was used to fund his car restoration hobby. Well, the beginning of school is fast approaching, and today the Brooklyn Center and Osseo school districts welcomed new teachers.
There will be plenty of new faces this year, and as Eric Nelson found out, the instructors are eager to get going.
We do welcome you with open arms to Osseo area schools and Brooklyn Center community schools.
On Monday, they rolled out the welcome mat for new teachers in the Brooklyn Center and Osseo school districts.
I think I'm going to tell the kids, I'm scared too, just like you, that this is new for both of us.
Yep, teachers get butterflies too, especially if they are newbies to the classroom.
I'm starting as a brand new teacher this fall, so at age 55. So I tell my students, you're never too old to learn.
Many of these new teachers chose their profession because they want to make a positive impact, and because they are passionate about inspiring kids.
You see the reward when you see each kid come in and tell you how much you made an impact to them. You see the reward when you step and just see the progress of your students.
I want to reach these kids and have them understand that they matter and that they can make a difference in the world.
Teachers know it is critical to prove to students that they are real and are legitimately concerned about them as people.
Kids won't know until you care. And that's what I plan to do, care.
So much of it is just loving the kids, and they can tell if you love them and respect them, they love and respect you back.
For some teachers, it's also about paying it forward, a chance to dole out wisdom learned from others.
I've had some great teachers that mentored me, and I'm looking to mentor some students at Crestview Elementary as well.
In Brooklyn Park, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
Well, if you've been caught in heavy traffic on a narrow bridge over Highway 169, you should know plans are in the works to ease the pain in that area. Maple Grove is working with Hennepin County and MnDOT to replace the Elm Creek Boulevard Bridge over Highway 169. A new bridge will be wider to provide more through lanes and turn lanes. The new interchange design should also be safer and improve access to new developments in Maple Grove's gravel mining area. The city is trying to get state funding for as much as half of the $20 million project. Construction is still 3 years away.
The Minneapolis-St. Paul Metro has one of the highest populations of people from Sierra Leone. The West African country has been plagued this century by civil war and the Ebola virus. Now the nation is dealing with another crisis. Last week, the capital city of Freetown was hit by a monstrous mudslide, which had a devastating effect on Sierra Leone. There are more than 40,000 West Africans in the Twin Cities, and many reside here in the Northwest Metro. Natives of Sierra Leone in Minnesota have been hit hard by this tragic news and have begun fundraising to aid people impacted by the mudslide.
It affected more than 1,000 people. 400 people died. The number is increasing, is going up. There's about 500 people now. Some people are still buried under the mudslide. They cannot dig through and find out who's actually missing now.
A GoFundMe account under the name Sierra Leone Community in Minnesota has been set up for anyone interested in donating to the cause.
Osseo planning officials took a road trip to Monticello this weekend to learn more about a unique company that has its sights set on Osseo. What they saw seems to be a good match between the city and a company looking for a small town vibe.
The only thing on here that's actually factory Harley-Davidson is the engine and the transmission.
The rest is made from scratch by a company called Union Speed and Style in Monticello.
We build custom hot rods and restoration type work.
Members of the Osseo Planning Commission got a look at what the business owned by brothers Jesse and Jordan Dickinson can do, like creating the frame, sheet metal, and upholstery on this 1928-29 Ford.
A lot of times when we tell people what we do, they think, oh, it's like a body shop. Well, it's nothing like a body shop because we don't do any body filler work and we don't do any paint work.
What they do produce is high-end, most projects starting at around $100,000 and up.
It's art. It's not just, craftsmanship and everything. The amount of work and stuff that they go in or put into this stuff is absolutely incredible.
The Dickinsons have been operating this shop for 13 years in Monticello and are now eyeing a bigger space on Osseo's Central Avenue.
When we walk downtown, we got that feeling that we did when we used to walk down Monticello's downtown. It feels like home, it feels like a sense of community.
The old Bottlers Exchange building offers double the space plus room for a retail showroom that they haven't had before.
A lot of old character to it. It's early 1900s building, and for what we do, it fits really well with our brand and the direction that we're going.
Osseo officials say they want to make the most out of a key property.
The piece of property they're looking at is really the prime piece of real estate in Osseo. And we want the right kind of business there, and we want people that care about the town.
Officials were impressed and hope it could become a destination for new visitors.
The fact that they're building what they're building is going to draw people with money into Osseo.
It will require a zoning change, and that's on the Planning Commission's agenda tonight, Monday night. Still ahead, back to school can be an expensive time of year, and some tips to get some of that money back in your taxes.
Plus, after an exciting run to the state semifinals last season, see what's in store for the Champlin Park football team this fall.
But first, humidity drops and cool, fresh air moves in, highs in the mid-70s on Tuesday. Back to school can be an expensive time of year for families.
From textbooks and school supplies to electronics and apparel, retailers are ready to ring up sales. In this week's Business Matters, a look at why saving receipts from educational expenses now can add to money in your pocket later on.
Backpacks and binders to calculators and crayons, back to school is big business. Families will spend about $688 per child on back to school supplies, according to the National Retail Federation's annual survey.
It's about an 8% increase that parents are spending this year on school supplies than last year.
School may be on the brain now, but Taylor Putz wants parents to be thinking about tax time too.
We want parents to be aware of the K-12 education credit credit and subtraction. So our message for parents is to make sure when they're doing back to school shopping that they're saving their receipts from any school supplies and educational opportunities.
Income limits apply to the state's K-12 education credit, but not for the subtraction. So if you're purchasing pencils and papers, calculators and books, save your receipts.
The credit essentially increases someone's tax refund, so it puts more money back into the pockets of hardworking families.
Not every school expense qualifies, only those items needed for learning. Back-to-school clothing, backpacks, and Kleenex don't make the cut. But gym shoes, textbooks, and musical instruments do.
If you're going to rent or purchase a violin during the school year, it gets to be costly, so making sure that you're saving your receipts from purchases of musical instruments.
And there's other education-related expenses that qualify.
They could also include things like field trips during the school day. It could also include academic camps during the summer. After-school tutoring taught by a qualified instructor.
Bottom line, if you're unsure, just keep your receipts. Each year, the local nonprofit Prepare and Prosper offers free tax assistance, and the organization sees far too many people unaware that dollars spent in the summer could earn money back in the spring.
The Minnesota Department of Revenue has more information on their website about which purchases qualify, and we also have links set up on our website at ccxmedia.org. Still ahead, the car viewing experience in Golden Valley that was eclipsed by the British.
But first, the Armstrong girls swimming team gears up for what should be a strong season. John Jacobson has the details next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. Going for a leisurely swim is a popular thing for kids to do in the summer. Competing for a high school team is a little different. Jay Wilcox caught up with one of the top teams in the area, the Armstrong Falcons, as they get set for the season.
It's the dog days of summer for Armstrong and other local girls swimming teams. Early two-a-day practices can be grueling.
Well, it's pretty tough, but it's kind of fun going through it as a team. Like, we all support each other, and I think we're doing pretty good so far. And I think we all have some pretty high goals that we really want to reach. Like, I know that I really want to go fast at the end of the season, and this is how we accomplish that. So
it was definitely kind of like a jump into shape kind of thing. Like, it was pretty hard. I mean, it's only a third day and it's felt like a month almost. It's a very long time. But I think it's actually definitely working as for getting us into shape pretty quickly.
The Falcons have 46 swimmers and 6 divers out this season. Actually a bit fewer than last season, but numbers that most teams would love to have. It's a pretty experienced group.
Yeah, actually we had only lost like 3 girls from last year, so a lot of the kids swim over the summer, they swim club and stuff like that. And our JV team is actually a lot of girls that swim club year-round, which was nice.
I would say most of our team would be the strongest at freestyle overall, but we do have a couple people who are able to swim other stuff too, which is great.
Armstrong was runner-up to Centennial in the Northwest Suburban Conference and to Wayzata in Section 5AA last season. They also qualified for the state True Team meet. They returned several state entrants and a couple of state place winners. The program's really rebounded well in recent years.
It's so exciting because we kind of came from nobody and now we're kind of making people scared of us. That's kind of fun.
I came in 5 years ago, kind of no one really, oh, we swim against Armstrong, and it was, you know, kind of a whatever thing, and now they say, oh, we swim against Armstrong, oh, we better watch out kind of thing. So yeah, it's exciting for the kids, especially the kids that have been on the team, you know, going into their 5th year and stuff like that. They've kind of made a name for themselves.
Looks like Armstrong's a team to watch again in the fall of 2017. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Armstrong opens the season at the Northwest Suburban Conference Relays in Anoka on Thursday. They swim at an invitational in Eau Claire on Saturday. Champlin Park's football team made its first state playoff appearance in 12 years last fall, going all the way to the state semifinals. In today's training camp report, we take a look at the 2017 Rebels.
1, 2, 3, roll.
With the excitement of 2016 behind them, the Champlin Park Rebels are looking forward to a new season, hoping to carry some of the momentum of last fall along with them.
School had never done that in a long, long time, and we really believe we can get back there and even go farther this year.
every group's different. You're not going to find a group like we had last year, the senior leadership that we had last year. That was unique, and they took us farther than a lot of people thought we were going to go. This new group of guys growing older, they got to find their way and find their niche, and we'll see what we grow into.
The Rebels do have a very good core of players to build around. On offense, left tackle Trayvon Cahalan should be one of the top linemen in the state. And Justin Setterlaw returns at center. Wide receiver Trey Carlson is a returning starter. And Max Shellum, a tight end last year, will see more time as a receiver. In the backfield, Ernest Warlow is a tough runner to stop. The big question right now is at quarterback. Bennett Otto, the Rebels starter most of last year as a sophomore, is still recovering from a back injury and won't be available until at least early in the regular season. The Joey Folds, the Rebels middle linebacker, is getting the first team stamps for now. The Rebels feel they are making strides in this first week of practice.
As an offense, I think we'll be pretty balanced with Bennett Otto coming back as our quarterback, and then our offensive line, we're going to be really good this year, and our running back, Ernest, he's a good running back, so we'll be a pretty balanced offense.
In addition to Folds at linebacker, other key returners on defense are D-back Nat Hill and defensive linemen Hayden Carr and Thomas Zinna. All should make big contributions to a Rebels program that seemed to bounce back last fall after some down years.
I think it just brings a lot of excitement back to the fans. I mean, a lot of kids were out there watching us, supporting, and that just gets them excited to come out for youth football and then just keep going all the way through.
Here's a breakdown on the Rebels. They finished 8-4 overall a year ago. Mike Horton enters this, his 14th season, with a record of 87-46. Total of 8 starters return. Champlin Park's first game is a week from Thursday night at Eastridge, a team they beat last November to reach the state playoffs. That's all for sports. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, John, thanks. Up next, shining a light on some really fancy cars.
We'll be right back. And finally, it wasn't the solar eclipse people in Golden Valley were flocking to see.
No, over the weekend, these shiny beauties were on display. No eye protection needed. Everything from Aston Martins and classic Jaguars to this 1961 Morris. Look at that. And car lovers also went back to the future, too, with this DeLorean. The event was put on by the Jaguar dealership in Golden Valley. That one is not a time travel machine, although you might feel like you're back in the 70s or 80s.
Right.
Yeah, pretty cool. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We will see you back here again on Tuesday, starting at 4 o'clock.